c4, e5, g3, knight f6, bishop g2, d5, c takes d5, knight takes d5, knight c3, knight b6, knight f3, knight c6, castle kingside, bishop e7, d3, castle kingside, bishop e3, bishop e6, rook c1, knight d5, knight takes d5, bishop takes d5, queen c2, rook e8, a3, queen d7, knight d2, rook a d8, bishop takes d5, queen takes d5, queen c4, a5, rook c2, f5, rook fc1, queen takes c4, rook takes c4, rook d5, rook 1 c2, bishop d6, king g2, f4, bishop c5, b5, rook 4 c3, knight d4, bishop takes d4, e takes d4, rook c6, f takes g3, h takes g3, rook takes e2, king f3, rook e6, knight e4, a4, rook a6, rook e8, rook a7, h5, king g2, rook f8, rook b7, king h7, f4, h4, knight takes d6, rook takes d6, rook takes b5, h takes g3, king takes g3, rook d f6, rook h2, check, king g8, rook b h5, rook e6, king g4, rook e3, rook to h3, rook takes h3, rook takes h3, rook e8, rook h5, rook e3, rook c5, rook takes d3, rook takes c7, rook d1, rook d7, rook d2, rook b7, d3, king f3, rook h2, King E3, D2, Rook D7, D1 promotes to knight check, Rook takes D1, Rook takes B2, King E4, Rook B3, Rook D3, Rook takes D3, King takes D3, King F7, King E4, King F6, F5, G6, F takes G6, King takes G6, King D5, King F6, King C6, King E6, King B5, King D6, King takes A4, King C7, King B5, King B8, King A6, King A8, King B6, King B8, A4, King A8, A5, King B8, A6, King A8, A7,